Dr. Charles Lieber, chair of the Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology at Harvard University, was recently convicted on multiple counts, including lying about receiving payments from the Chinese government's 1,000 Talents project. His conviction should serve as a wake-up call to U.S. scientists, universities, and research institutes. Lieber specializes in nanoscience, which studies tiny things. Nanotechnology is the application of nanoscience and can revolutionize a diverse range of fields, from healthcare to manufacturing. Lieber won numerous awards, and he and his collaborators own more than 35 patents. As one of the nation's top scientists, Lieber received more than $15 million in grants from the National Institute of Health (NIH) and the Department of Defense (DoD). Part of these grants' requirements is the disclosure of significant conflicts of interest, including financial support from foreign entities. Yet Lieber failed to disclose his position as strategic scientist at Wuhan University of Technology (WUT) in China and his participation in China's 1,000 Talents project (TTP) from 2012 to 2017. The Chinese government launched TTP in 2008 to attract, recruit, and cultivate high-level scientific talent in furtherance of China's scientific development, economic prosperity, and national security. TTP is under the direct management of the Chinese Communist Party (CCP). The program usually targets experts and leading researchers who work in strategically important fields. Lieber's case is a typical example of how TTP works. The court document shows that WUT paid Lieber a $50,000 monthly salary, an estimated $150,000 in annual living expenses, and more than $1.5 million to set up a research lab in China. His responsibilities included declaring international cooperation projects, cultivating young teachers and PhD students, organizing international conference, applying for patents, and publishing articles in the name of WUT. Lieber wasn't the only TTP recruit who hid his compensation and engagement in China. Many TTP participants do not disclose either their involvement with the TTP or any financial rewards they receive. For example, officials at the Texas A&M University system found that more than 100 faculty at its schools were involved with TTP, but only 5 had disclosed their participation. U.S. authorities had been slow to realize the threat of TTP under the Trump administration. The FBI and other U.S. government agencies finally began to increase scrutiny of federal grant recipients about their ties with China. The U.S. Department of Justice opened 24 cases against U.S.-based scientists, out of which The Wall Street Journal reported 9 defendants have pleaded guilty. Charges have been dropped completely in 6 others, 5 of which officials said they dismissed because the scientists involved already had been sufficiently punished by being detained or otherwise restricted for a year. American universities and scientists have pushed back on the U.S. government's actions, arguing that cross-border scientific cooperation is inherently beneficial to scientific development. While such an argument may be valid in other contexts, it ignores the true nature of the CCP and how it runs Chinese society. For the CCP, TTP has been immensely successful. As of 2017, China reportedly has recruited 7,000 researchers and scientists, including 70 Nobel laureates, more than 300 U.S. government researchers, and more than 600 U.S. corporate personnel. The technical know-how these scientists shared has contributed to China's astonishing speed of narrowing its technology gaps with the United States. China's technology gains also allowed the CCP to modernize the Chinese military and develop advanced weapons. For example, China recently stunned the U.S. military and intelligence community with its test of a hypersonic nuke missile based on a design by a NASA scientist. Therefore, U.S.-based scientists, universities, and research institutes cannot regard their collaboration with Chinese counterparts as innocent scientific exchanges. They must recognize the severe geopolitical risks and moral implications of these cross-border collaborations. They have to do their part not to enable an authoritarian regime to threaten democracies and liberal values with their technical know-how.